Hey Lunch Bunch, welcome back. Today on Cristin Eats, I'm going to be eating some chicken ramen noodles and some egg rolls. I am hopeful that the egg rolls are cooked all the way. The instructions was for cooking like 4 to 6 egg rolls, and it said it took 15 minutes. I had mine in for like about 12 minutes. I don't want them to burn, but they still might be frozen on the inside. So we'll see. Also to note, I don't own any chopsticks. I meant to pick some up when I was at the store getting the ramen, but I forgot. So I'm going to be using a fork. Hope you don't mind. I know I make my ramen a little bit weird. Kind of did this for the story time factor to it. Growing up, this is how my dad made ramen. He would put 2 cups of water in a Pyrex measuring cup, and then cook it for like 3 minutes, add your seasoning packet, and then put the noodles in and cover it with a plate and let it sit for a few minutes and let the noodles cook. So that's just kind of like how I grew up making ramen. I think they're about done. They're all pulling apart and all fluffy looking. I definitely eat ramen more like the way people eat chicken noodle soup. I put crackers in it. So I'm going to get me some crackers here. To drink, I'm working on my leftover pop from McDonald's. I had to go through and get my caffeine fix. And then I've got a glass of water. I'm really trying to cut back on my pop, but it is hard. Like, if my son got up at like 5:40 this morning, oh my goodness. So I needed some caffeine today. So I got my crackers, just regular saltines. I love this cracker tin. I wish they still sold crackers in tins like this instead of boxes. Like, the cardboard boxes are probably more economical and probably more environmentally friendly, but I just love this little cracker tin. It was my grandma's, and so when I found this up in her cabinet after we inherited her house, I had to keep it. I've also got one for oh, what's the other big popular brand of crackers? I almost said Reese's, not Reese's. And you know, like the little buttery round Ritz? I think it's Ritz crackers. I have one of those as well, but we don't really buy those, so I never fill it up. But we do go through saltines quite often, and so every time we buy saltines, I just take the packets out and put them in the tin. So I just thought I'd like share that with y'all. So put some crackers in here. This should probably be titled American Eats Ramen, right? Because I'm sure this isn't how like most people eat this. Probably not the traditional way of eating it. I know it's not the traditional way of eating it. I've watched a lot of ramen MukBangs, and it's always with chopsticks and in big bowls, and I've never seen anybody put saltine crackers in it. Another thing I like to do with my ramen is I like to add in canned peas and canned corn. I didn't do that this time because I didn't feel like opening up the cans and then having to put everything in storage containers, because you don't need like an entire can, you just need like a sprinkling. But it's still really, really hot. Let that all just do its thing there for a minute. Egg rolls, let's see if they're cooked all the way. I hope that they are. And I've got a little bit of a sweet and sour sauce. Pretty excited for that. Oh, so if you guys are curious about all the stuff behind me, all these goodies, go check out my main channel and you can see me haul all of these treats. It's probably going to be called like American Hauls American Candy or something like that. I will be doing a candy swap with my friend Bettina, who lives in Australia. So I'm going to haul all of this first, show you guys what I got for her, talk about it a little bit, kind of my thoughts and opinions on all of it, and then I'm going to ship it to her. So go check out my main channel if you want to see the candy swap happen, to see everything that she sends me, if you want to see everything that I'm going to send her. And I'll also leave a link to her channel down below if you want to go check her out, and if you guys want to, you know, see her unbox everything that I send her. But I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to see everything she sends here, because I feel like, I hate to say it like this, but I feel like this is almost going to be like a one-way street kind of a deal, because from what I've heard, like American snack foods and stuff like that, like I feel like our culture, I don't know, I feel like it's so widespread. So I feel like everything that I bought for her, a lot of it, I feel like they probably already have it. Whereas a lot of what they have, like I know like Vegemites, and then I was reading an article talking about treats and stuff in Australia, and one thing was something about koala, something koala. We don't have either of those here. I don't know. I feel like the treats she sends me, I'm probably never going to heard of. And I feel like all the treats I'm going to send her, I feel like she's probably going to know about. But it's still going to be interesting. It's still going to be a lot of fun. And I think I definitely went overboard. Like, that's more than what's going to fit in a box. Oh, well. I'll probably have to take some things out of boxes to ship them. I love egg rolls. I think I could do like an entire mukbang just eating egg rolls. So I was watching, I think her name's Honey Eats. I'll link her down below. I love her. But she eats kimchi a lot with her mukbangs. And I thought it was cabbage, but I wasn't for sure. And she finally talked about it, what exactly kimchi is. And it's like a cooked cabbage that's kind of like spicy. And I don't remember if she said it's pickled or not. I don't think that it is. I think it's just a cooked cabbage with like a bunch of different spices on it. But I think I'd like that. It looks good. Okay, let's see if this stuff is cooled down enough to eat, or if it's still boiling hot. With all the steam on that. Eat it like spaghetti. I really should have picked up some chopsticks, but honestly, like, I'm not very good at using them anyways. I'd probably still end up with a fork. It's good. I haven't had ramen in a really long time. But this has a really strong flavor of celery, which I don't mind. I like cooked celery. I'm not a big fan of raw celery. Cooked celery is good, but this has like a really strong celery flavor. I went ahead and picked up 2 packs. I was thinking about doing like a really big ramen noodle mukbang, but I just wasn't feeling like eating that much food. I feel like this should be called celery ramen. Like, this is what it tastes like. It tastes like celery. I just splashed it all over myself. So let me know in the comments below, how do you make ramen? I know a popular way to do it is stovetop, but I'd love to know if you also do it like this. And I had a friend in high school who did fried ramen. That was really good. So let me know how you do your ramen. And also let me know what you're eating, if you're eating with me. So steamy. That's a little hot. So, I thought maybe today we could talk about the time I dated a cross-dresser. Kind of an interesting story here. And since my ramen needs to cool a little bit more, got some time to chat about it. So, this guy, his name was Nate. He actually went to prom with one of my best friends in high school. And I had a boyfriend at the time. And like the four of us just hung out together. So that's kind of how I met him. And her and him didn't date super long, like a month or two. It wasn't like a really intense thing for them. And they broke up. And then like 2 or 3 years later, he gets a hold of me. We're out of high school. All that stuff. And in my town, it's a small town. Like, everybody knows everybody. Think that country song, everybody knows everybody. Everybody calls your friend. I can't sing worth a lick, but you don't need an invitation. Kick off your shoes, come on in. Yeah, like, that's how my town is. Like, everybody knows everybody. Everybody's dated everybody. Like, that's just how it is. So, this guy gets a hold of me. This is back before, like, dating apps got really popular, but, you know, back in the, probably would have been around 2011, probably. But you still had really popular dating websites, like Plenty of Fish and Meet Me. I think it used to be called My Yearbook, then it got called Meet Me. Tag. Those were a couple that I was on. And I came across him, or he came across me, I don't remember. But he got a hold of me, and we started chatting, and we decided to start hanging out. And I really liked him. It was, you know, it was nice. I think it was going well. We hung out a little bit. We didn't really, like, we never really went on, like, an official date kind of a thing. It was more just, like, us hanging out. And then us hanging out eventually turned into us occasionally making out. But we never, like, really went on a date. And one night, him and I were just, like, texting and stuff. And we talked for, like, maybe a month. Like, we never were, like, officially boyfriend-girlfriend status. But we talked for about a month, hung out on and off for about a month. And towards the end of the month, he tells me, hey, I've got something I want to tell you. I'm like, okay. Like, we're texting. And he tells me that he likes to wear women's clothing. Now, this guy, let me paint you a picture. This guy, just to see him, looks like all-American country boy. Like, he is stocky and broad-shouldered and wears a lot of camo and drove a pickup truck. I think maybe he had a Jeep. I think he drove a Jeep. Always wearing, like, boots and was going fishing. I remember there were several times he was going fishing and I just went and hung out with him while he was fishing. Just that's the kind of manly man, you know? So I was completely taken back when he said that he liked to wear women's clothing at home when he was by himself. Which, like, no judgment, but it just, I tried to look past that, but there's some reasons why it made it hard to look past it. So he told me that, and I was kind of taken aback, and I was like, oh, okay. You know, I guess everybody needs a hobby. I don't know. Like, I don't remember what I said, but I was kind of like, okay. And then he goes on and starts sending me pictures of him in dresses and asking if I think he looks pretty. And that right there, I can be friends if you want to do that. We can be friends. But I'm sorry, I'm not attracted to men in dresses. I'm not. I don't, no. That kind of, everybody has their own taste. I have friends who, like, would be totally into that. I have girlfriends who would be totally into that if a guy wanted to wear a dress. But that's just not me. And I just can't take it seriously very well. It's different if somebody's transgender. But he is what you would call a cross-dresser. Like, he is into women. He was very much a manly man on the outside. As far as I am aware, wasn't interested in having any kind of a sex change. He just liked wearing women's clothing. And I don't know, it kind of kind of lost interest in him in a romantic sense. And to further that, and I never, like, directly said it to him. Like, I was kind of just, like, riding it out. Because he was a really nice guy. He treated me really well, and I liked hanging out with him. And I was like, okay, like, can I get over this little quirk? Like, we'll see. But the one thing that really kind of did it for me was one day he got a hold of me, he was talking to me, and he goes, you know, I really wanted to start hanging out with you because I think you're built similar to me, and I like your style, and I think we could share clothes. Your whole interest in dating me is because you like my closet? Gee, thanks. You know, so that right there kind of put a damper on it, and I was kind of like, I need you to like me for a little more than what I wear, you know? To further that, Buddy was tall and broad-shouldered, and even though I'm a big chick and I wear bigger size clothing, he would have still stretched the crap out of my clothes if he thought we was going to share. Just saying. So that kind of like put a damper, like it was kind of heading that direction, and then he made that comment, and I was kind of like, yeah, I don't think we're going to be a thing. We can be friends, but we're not going to be a thing. And so he ended up having me take him clothes shopping. I had an outfit I used to wear quite a bit about the time that him and I started talking, because it was like winter time when we met, and so it was cold out, and the outfit I had was like it was a gray and black striped sweater that was V-necked, very thick, kind of cozy material. The sleeves were long, they probably came down a little bit past my hands here, and then it was a longer shirt, went past my hips, and I wore black leggings and black boots with it. Probably not an outfit that I would have continued to remember all these years later if it hadn't been associated with the whole thing of, I like you for your clothes, and I like this particular outfit that you wear. So we meet up to go shopping because he wants to find an outfit just like that. So we go to Walmart. First thing he does in the parking lot is show me that he's wearing a bra. Like, that's nice. Like, I don't need to know. I don't need to know what your drawers look like. They're not my business. Like, he's like, hey, I want to tell you something. I'm what? And he goes, I'm wearing a bra. I'm like, great. I'm wearing one too, but I'm not showing it to you, you know? Like, this is messy. Had a hard time getting this towel out of the drawer. It's a little too full. I need to go through and get rid of some of my kitchen towels. Anyways, we go to Walmart, and we're looking around at the women's clothing, trying to find something like what I like to wear, or that outfit that he liked that I wore. And we found a sweater. I'm talking to him, and I never said anything directly to him of like, do you think this would fit you? What size do you think you are? Honestly, anybody who's seen us shopping probably thought that we were boyfriend and girlfriend or shopping for me. But I can remember like finding a sweater like what I had and being like, oh, do you like this? And he's like, and there wasn't very many people in the store anyways, and the people who were there was like a couple of old ladies in the clothing department. Like, they probably couldn't hear us to begin with, and even if they could, they probably thought we were a couple and shopping for me, like I said. And he was like, shh, keep your voice down, I don't want them to know. And it's like, nobody's gonna know if you don't shut up. You're the one making this weird. So, it was kind of interesting. And then when we got to the register, like before we got to the register, I'm pretty sure he gave me the money to pay for the clothes and then wanted me to go through and buy them all. And it's like, okay. But like, he still went through with me. But he wanted me to hand him the money and put everything on the conveyor belt. It's like, she probably thinks like we're a couple and you're buying things for me, but whatever floats your boat. But I just remember he kind of freaked out when we were at the shoe section and when we were in the clothing section. Because we also found boots that were similar. And then we were looking there and stuff. And I was asking him, you know, if he liked them, what he thought about them. And of course, if anybody ever heard that, they probably thought we were shopping for me. But he'd do the whole, like, be quiet, blah, blah, blah. And then him and I had been talking. At this point, when we finally went shopping, like, us being a thing had kind of was out the window. I think he knew it. I knew it. We were just friends, like, hanging out. And he was wanting me to go out in public with him dressed as a lady. But we never ended up doing it. I don't know why. There were several times when we were talking about it and, you know, talking about nightclubs he could go to. And I said, you know, we could go down to Broad Ripple, which is down in Indianapolis. It's a little ways away from where we live, so likely we wouldn't run into anybody. And it'd be dark out, so, like, he could probably pass and, like, nobody would possible. I don't know, because he's so broad-shouldered. I feel like he'd have a really hard time. But being dark out in Indianapolis, like, people either maybe wouldn't care or wouldn't notice. I don't really know. But, yeah, that's kind of the time I dated a cross-dresser. Last I knew, he married some chick. I don't know. We've lost touch over the years. But I always wondered if he told her about that and if she was okay with it, or if he decided he didn't want to do that anymore. I always kind of wondered about it. Well, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you'd like to become a member of the Lunch Bunch, then hit that subscribe button down below because I would love to have you here on a regular basis. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's it for me. I'll see you guys in my next one.